All right, guys, here to talk about The Tick, Season 1, Episode 8. And we're almost done with this series. We got one episode left.
Yeah.
I didn't think this was a super high point for The Tick.
No, but this is like a...
It was serviceable.
This is mid-tier. This is fine.
We did get a Dave Foley as a cameo. So
I always like me
keep
some
up
Dave
with
Foley.
our fun cameos of characters. Arthur is... coming out of the superhero closet to his family and telling them that he is indeed a Cape Crusader.
I'm a super. No, it's this is an interesting thing, right? I don't know if they do enough with it or whatever, right? But one of the things the show does sometimes is it takes a concept, right? We had it before with like being in a superhero duo is like being in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
So now it's like being a superhero is like being gay or like one of those things.
Yeah, we had being
a
strong woman in a relationship versus being a superhero in a relationship.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, we've tackled social issues.
One other
before.
thing that I forgot, but they're using it as a metaphor for stuff, right? So that's interesting.
We had loneliness and getting a dog and all that jazz. But in this episode, he's coming out to his sister and his mother, and they're both like impossibly annoying people.
Sure. Kind of crushed me a little. So his sister's name is Dot. That triggered Dot. That's from the animated series. There's a Dot, and I'm like, oh, I thought he had like a girlfriend. Maybe he does anyway. But his sister's also involved doing stuff. I think his sister might actually be the one living with them. You know, in the animated series. I forget.
I don't have a ton of memories of actual plots, just like things and characters and interesting stuff.
Just like
happening.
fighting a mustache.
Yeah.
Just doing stuff like that. Yeah. I remember there being a female living either with them or coming over a lot, being a foil to like Arthur and the Tick, and being like, that's not reasonable, we can't do that or whatever. Because every now and then like Tick convinces Arthur we should do this crazy thing, and someone has to be there to be like, no, maybe shave the mustache, I don't know, and like say something, right? Yeah.
So they meet up at their normal haunt, that Chinese restaurant / superhero establishment.
Did you like? Is this that type of place?
Yeah.
Yes.
As if it is a gay bar.
Yeah. It's pretty
superhero bar.
It's pretty on the nose, but I dig it.
No, I was okay with a lot of little pieces on this, but like the overall, like it didn't have enough zingers for me.
No.
I wanted there to be a bigger payoff with the Tick in the toilet. Like
there was like no payoff.
There was nothing.
I was like, is this going to be the sewer urchin?
That's
What's
what I was
happening?
thinking. I was like, did I forget he exists?
Yeah.
Like, has this been him sending his messages up the toilet tubes?
Exactly. The only payoff is that he somehow hears him reverberating through the toilet, which makes like very little sense.
Yeah.
And like that bothered me. Like my last note is Tick versus the toilet or whatever. Okay. Not so talky with a belly full of hell, are we? And all that stuff.
Yeah.
No, but really no payoff, and like really out of nowhere and not funny enough to justify, like, because that's one of our, there's usually like three things, and there was fondue, the talking toilet, and the conversion therapy superhero part, right? Yeah. And like, we're not really knocking it out of the
What does Batman will say, the fondue line? Do you remember
I
that?
don't know.
It's like, no fondue do for you do, or so like some weird like rhyming fondue.
He keeps like, like building on it. I do fondue, do you? And doing all those things and all that stuff. Yeah. So like,
he's charming. I like him a lot.
He's charming. That's funny enough on its own. It's hanging out over there. It's fine, right? I like them actually doing like a little bit of fighting, getting into the thing where when they storm the asylum and all that stuff and all those things. But yeah, no, the toilet part like was not worth it.
It was weird, and their toilet is strangely tall. It's like a weird pedestal toilet.
Tick-sized toilet, yeah.
Yeah, it's strange. I started to think a lot this episode about the Tick's suit and how it gets on him.
How does he poop?
Now, well. Yes.
They forced us to think about how he poops.
Have you thought about the suit at all? Like, because there's no zipper in the back. No seams. Like,
it's not a suit. That's just what he is.
Well, I meant for how they do it for the TV show.
Oh, like practically on Patrick Warburton.
And how I'm picturing it is, I picture it as pants that go all the way up, and then he puts the whole thing on as a onesie, and it like snaps underneath the crotch.
Okay.
Like something like that, because you never see like an upward scissored shot.
Sure.
And it looks like the pants are a separate like thing, like it's all like a foam rubber suit.
You see some layers and stuff though, yeah.
But the whole upper piece looks to be one sealed thing from head to arms, chest. Looks like it's all one thing all the way to the crotch.
I picture they just lube him up and he squeezes into this wetsuit and he's just doing
through
it.
like what, like the head expands?
The head hole. He just goes through the head hole, feet first, into the face hole. Also the name of my third album. Yeah, I don't.
That was something I started thinking about during the boring toilet thing that had no payoff.
Which is bad, right? Because I'm like, how does he poop? And you're like, that suit on Patrick Warburton. That's weird. That's a tight fit. How does that work?
Well, there's parts also where you
away.
see him in other episodes where he's sitting down at an angle you can see, and you can see like the chest piece folding over the other piece.
Doing a thing. Yeah.
So you're like, okay, it's all one solid piece in there. Arthur, you saw like out of uniform today, and he looks like he's put on weight in this episode. Did you
someone's
notice anything like that?
Someone's being very critical of the actor that portrays Arthur.
I had a lot of time because there were some annoying things happening that didn't focus.
No, he's a little dumpy. I didn't notice like a big change. Maybe I don't know.
He looked bigger in this episode than he did in the past. When he's in the white suit, though, it's very slimming on him.
White's very slimming.
It is, and not traditionally.
Isn't it? Oh no, black's slimming.
Black is slimming. White's
death.
is usually the opposite. But something about how his, in the combination of belts and straps, he looks fine in the suit. It's the moment he's out of the suit. I guess it's that whole thing like men in uniform. Look better.
Well, it really ties everything together.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't have to walk. He can fly. Ding.
He doesn't have to walk. Yeah, that was a great line too. You can't keep running from your problems. He doesn't have to run. Yeah, the tick like not continuing to not get it or whatever. Now there's some winners in here. We are different. We're much better, but we have to accept them even though they're not as good as us. That whole thing like him turning it exactly around and everything. I was like, that's pretty funny, right?
Yeah, the tick is great.
A little bit of empowerment type talk or whatever if you want to go that route.
I would have liked this to have gotten continued for a little bit more, so we could have seen it have a chance to evolve and fix some of the issues it may have.
I think that it could have found itself, and his delivery combined with their interpretation of like the essence of the tick can lead to some funny shit, and like given more because a lot of this just seems like that's good enough. We have to film the next thing, right? Yeah. And if they even with just a little more love, they could have made some interesting.
And by
stuff.
season 2, a lot of shows get a lot better. Oh, now we got the money. Oh, they signed us on for a 22-episode season. It's a full show. We can actually afford to build this and that, whatever.
Right.
And like they do a lot with minimal sets. So like I think if you had just a little bit more money, you could have done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think we're gonna end up with like a tragic tale of like a charming but not great show that we think really could have gone somewhere or whatever. There's only one more short episode left, and we're gonna have to see. Maybe this one knocks it out of the park. I don't know.
See.
I forget. I suspect it may end with a whimper. Just another episode,
I believe it does.
And then just go, okay,
but
that's another episode.
We will certainly know in the next episode. Are there any more pieces to talk about in this? Aside from Dave Foley trying on all the suits, being a closeted
and
superhero
him like running around. And that's the whole, like, it's very on the nose, so I'm not even like calling it out. But yes, like that's what you'd want to do. You would want because just like the preacher that's trying to pray the gay away is
that
like
gets caught with like a transvestite in his
is a homo. Yeah, then like you're doing the exact same thing with this, which like that's what you do.
It speaks to reality.
Yeah, when you start with the premise, you like go through. A better, longer, more serious show can use more because you can have every superhero talk about being a superhero in society and like how that feels, and you can draw like Bryan Singer's X-Men. Have you ever tried like not being a mutant though, honey? Like shit like that. Like you can explore. That's what's good about these genre fictions, like science fiction, like out there fantasy stuff, is you can use it as a mirror to hold up to reality and explore things without actually saying they're Palestine and they're Israel. Like you can actually just say,
I actually hate the moment people do actually make the comparison, but I like to be able to draw a comparison myself.
Oh, you mean like in the work, right?
Yeah, I hate when
it's like
the
being
director,
gay.
No, like if
even
the director
outside
comes out and says like oh yeah, this is my version of what we did with Russia in the 90s. Why?
No. Yeah,
don't give pretentious pricks things to be sure about. Let them think.
Yeah, no, and I like it when it's not a direct one-to-one mapping. Like Star Trek had a good way of doing that type of stuff, where you kind of take traits and like historical things and like, well, these two races are feuding and like they're like disputing this territory. Like it's kind of vague and it's not exactly one-to-one mapping of like oh, they're like Prussia in the whatever war. Like it's kind of like more out there and stuff like that. That's what we're here for. Is shit like that. And I'm honestly pleasantly surprised that the Tick, for like whatever else the budget and the different things are, is using this type of technique to like start to explore some stuff. So let's see what happens in the last episode.
All right, guys, so that was this episode of The Tick. Let us know what you thought about it in the comments below. We'll see you next time for the last episode of The Tick.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.